Here's more wrestling news for April 3rd, 2022, and your headlines for this WrestleMania Sunday afternoon include major news on Cody Rhodes' new WWE contract. Top signing will have a role behind the scenes. Awkward botches and wardrobe malfunction derails Smackdown's Women's Championship match. Kevin Owens reveals the other WWE Hall of Famer he hoped to face at WrestleMania. Smackdown superstar suffers knee injury at WrestleMania, will require surgery. WWE could split up tag team as soon as possible after tensions at Mania. Stone Cold Steve Austin shatters WWE record by competing in the main event of WrestleMania 38. How many fans really attended Night 1 of WWE's WrestleMania 38, and more. We're kicking off with Cody Rhodes, who returned to WWE as Seth Rollins' mystery opponent at WrestleMania 38. Cody's return is a monumental win for WWE, and now details have come out about what role he'll have in the company. On Twitter, Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated shared a screen grab detailing Cody's contract, confirming that he has a new multi-year deal with the company. Not only that, but Cody will also be an executive producer on an upcoming documentary about his father, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, which will be produced by WWE and A&E as part of the biography docuseries. Cody's role in WWE may not have the same level of influence he had in AEW, but it will allow him to produce a major documentary about his father, and we'll have to see what the three-time former AEW TNT champion does, both in and out of the ring, after last night's stupendous return. WrestleMania Saturday was obviously a huge show for WWE, but not everything went according to plan. Throughout the show, there were a handful of botches, including in the Smackdown Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. In the most noticeable spot of the match, Flair completely missed a moonsault attempt on her opponent and came up short. Improvising, Flair attempted a standing moonsault, but this one went too far and she sailed over Rousey in a very awkward spot for the usually flawless Queen. This wasn't even the only botch of the match, as the two women worked stiff and lacked chemistry, and the match had to be stopped at one point when Flair suffered a wardrobe malfunction. The last match on the WrestleMania Saturday card, the two had a lot to live up to, especially after Bianca Belair's emotional Raw Women's title win earlier in the night, but what fans saw wasn't as crisp as WWE had intended. Last month, Triple H announced that he will never wrestle again following the cardiac event that derailed everything for him in September 2021. One name who knows the game very well is Kevin Owens, who was not only a major part of NXT during Triple H's run of the show, but also captured the Universal Championship in 2016 with a big assist from the King of Kings. Speaking to MacMania this week, the prizefighter spoke about Triple H and revealed that they had both planned to one day step in the ring as opponents. "If I could have had a dream WrestleMania match, it would have been with Triple H, so, he and I talked about that, and we always kind of assumed we'd get to have a match eventually, not necessarily at WrestleMania. So that part sucks. I'm just glad to hear he's doing good, and that's the best decision for him and his family, so it's the right decision." While Triple H and Owens once shared the ring as tag team partners, the pair never faced off one-on-one, and despite plans both men had, the match will now never happen. More from WrestleMania Saturday, as last night's show kicked off with the Usos retaining the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs, but this was an especially tough loss for Boogs. During the match, the guitar-playing superstar appeared to suffer a knee injury and was carried all the way to the back after the match. While superstars are sometimes helped to walk to the back, Boogs was carried all the way without his feet touching the floor, which is a huge indicator that something is seriously wrong. In an update later in the show, Michael Cole confirmed that Boogs had suffered a torn quadricep tendon, which will require surgery. Ironically, it was a fake leg injury that allowed Boogs and Nakamura to earn a shot at the SmackDown Tag Team titles at WrestleMania, but on this occasion, his injury is very, very real. In the second match of the night, Drew McIntyre faced Happy Corbin and made history by kicking out of the End of Days. The first man to ever do so during Corbin's near 10 years signed to WWE, this was a definite highlight of the match, which wasn't all too memorable or exceptional on the stacked Mania card. Other than McIntyre's kickout and subsequent victory, the biggest thing about the match is the tense moment during the bout between Corbin and Madcap Moss. With Moss winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, WWE clearly sees him as a future singles star, and that idea was only enforced with the issues he and Corbin had last night. With that in mind, WWE are planting the seeds of the team's breakup, and we wouldn't be surprised if it comes as soon as the next episode of Smackdown. With Corbin's feud with McIntyre seemingly at an end, it's time for the former Mr. Money in the Bank to move on to someone else, and that very much could be his current and soon-to-be former tag team partner. WrestleMania also saw the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin, who defeated Kevin Owens in a no-holds-barred match. After reports that this would just be a confrontation, WWE have confirmed that this was a match, and it means that the Texas Rattlesnake now has a new record to his name. By main eventing WrestleMania 38 Night 1, Austin now holds the record for the longest time between two WrestleMania main events. The last time Austin closed out the show was 2001, 21 years ago, and Austin's match shattered the previous record held by Brock Lesnar, who after headlining in 2003, waited 12 years to do it again in 2015. And we're ending with yet more WrestleMania news as thousands of fans packed AT&T Stadium to watch Night 1, and according to WWE themselves, it was 77,899 seats that had been filled. It's no secret that WWE often inflates these numbers, with Vince McMahon once saying that the number given is just for entertainment purposes, and WrestleMania Saturday was no different. According to a report from WrestleTix, the actual attendance was 65,719, over 10,000 fewer people than what WWE had claimed. This 65,719 number also includes tickets that were given out by WWE, as the company will hand out thousands of free seats to family and friends of the talent and crew, as well as to numerous radio and TV networks for promotional purposes. In the run-up to WrestleMania 38, WWE President Nick Khan said the company hoped to sell 100,000 tickets for each night of their biggest show of the year, but in actuality, the WWE never got close to that number. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.